Welcome to a new episode of the CAP Podcast, Consumer Ammunition Tactics Podcast. I got a special guest today. I got my guy, Terry Arter, in the building. I'm going to be reading his bio, and we're going to get straight into it. So his name is Terry, or T. Arter. He's a 29-year-old options trader. So make sure y'all take notes so that you're going to get that bag, you feel me? He moved to Atlanta, Georgia prior to the pandemic, and he learned how to invest in the stock market. He lives in Columbus, Ohio, and targets a minimum of $1,000 a day in the stock market. You know, getting to the bag. He's taught over 80 people how to print their own money in the stock market. He has a community of options traders called IROC. His famous slogan is winners only with the trophy. You know, I like trophies, championships, all that. Welcome to the podcast, bro. How you feeling?
Man, I appreciate you having me on here, man. I thought I'd never make it.
Bro, this is crazy. Yeah, man. So, I mean, I read a very brief bio. Could we talk about maybe your upcoming and, you know, how you even got into stocks?
Yeah, so I worked for the post office. I worked for the post office for 6 years. I got the opportunity to move to Atlanta, and I was making decent money, what I thought back then. And I had a shoe habit. I was telling my wife, I was, hey, I'm spending my money on pointless things. I need to invest my money. And she was like, well, find something. And I was like, all right. So I started reading about, the stock market, and then the pandemic came, and I had came across the recession. I realized people got rich in the recession. So they say a lot of times when recessions happens, people sell, but the investors, they buy. So I'm like, I got this extra money. Let me put some money in the market. And I actually jumped in crypto, and I bought like Bitcoin at like $3,500. And in like 2 weeks, it went to $12,000. After that, I was obsessed with the stock market, man.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So did anyone, what's your family like? Did anyone in your family invest? Give us a background on that.
I'm really the first entrepreneur in my family, man, to be honest. I mean, in my intermediate family, right? So, I found out about Robinhood. I don't recommend Robinhood, but it's for novices. And so, you can invest small stocks on there. And then I really just started getting in the game. I was like, all right, I thought I was doing something, making money long-term, right? So when you got a long-term investment, you're actually buying a stock. So I used to target like $100 a day on long-term investments. I read up on new companies that was coming out. But then I found out about options. And then I realized what happened was I found out about options like 7 months later, right? I was in Fort Lauderdale. I was on the beach, and I had made $7,000 from my long-term investments. Like, that's a lot. Your long-term investments in one day. And I was like, oh, $7K. So I told this guy, and this guy was like, oh, if you would have traded that options, you would have had 700,000. And I was like, what is that option? Yeah. You think you do something big, and then somebody's like, oh, you traded options, you would have had 700,000. I'm like, 700,000. What is an option?
Yeah.
Ever since then, I just be doing options.
Can we talk about options? I mean, the fact that, it's like wholesale compared to, regular stocks. Can you break that down for someone who don't know?
Yeah. So I got y'all. So I like to use this example with my students, right? So people make their hand like a phone, right? You make your hand like a phone. So a call, like you picking it up, that means you're betting that the stock is going to go up. A put, it's like you're putting down a phone. So you're betting that the stock is going to go down. As long as you choose the direction correctly, you'll be making money. So it's middlemaning it, right? So a contract of a stock has 100 shares in there, right? So I'm getting these 100 shares for a cheaper price because I'm saying, hey, at this date and this time, I'm going to purchase these stocks, right? So now you're in contract. So say I get a contract for $1,000. It has 100 shares in it that's worth 20,000. So now these shares that are worth 20,000 are now worth 40,000. Now my contract is worth $2,000. So I just profited $1,000 off my. So all I'm doing is simply selling my contract back to the market, taking a profit of $1,000 and calling it a day. And that's option trading for you. It's me simply saying, hey, I bet it's going to go up or down, and whether I gain value on the contract or not, I can make money either way.
Okay. So with options, I see what a lot of people come across the issue is like when to enter, when to exit. Can we get into?
Oh, yeah. So look, I'll give y'all some sauce on my strategy.
Yeah, let's get it, man.
So, right, there's a lot of indicators out there, right? So for beginners, I usually tell them to use this, it's called the exponential moving average and the moving average. So you can set these up. I set these up at 10-10. So everybody can go on, I trade off a trading view. And what I do is I call them big brother and little brother, right? So usually when the big brother chooses, he wants to go down. The little brother chooses he'll go down too, which forces the market to go down. So when they cross, that's your entry. It's very simple. As soon as they cross and they go in whichever direction, whether it be up or down, you can make your entry there. A lot of people get greedy, right? A lot of people like, oh, I'm making, a lot of money. I target 5 to 10% of my trades, right?
Okay.
5% is so easy in the market. I'm talking about so easy. So if I put up $1,000, I can easily make $50, so on and so on, right? It's about consistency, right? So there's 253 trading days in a year. If you can make $100 a day, you can make $25,300 extra a year. You can't tell me. I mean, I don't know what your clock is like, but I could definitely use 25,300 extra dollars.
25,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, that's dope. So let's say I'm like, I bet I'm listening to the podcast episode. A lot of my listeners are like on credit, things like that. They fix their credit. They got, some funds. Maybe they want to do a little bit of manufacturer spending to actually fund their account. Would you recommend that?
I've done that before. I've done that. I actually maxed. So I got my Amex Gold card, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, and they told me basically, you got to max it out in order to, increase your limit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I know how to flip this in no time. My bill will be doing 30 days. I know I can make $1,000 a day within 30 days. Just run it up. So I maxed out my Amex Gold card. I invoiced myself from my business.
Okay.
I use my Amex card to pay it. I maxed that out. I think I ended up getting like $9,700. I transferred
at 2.9%. Was it PayPal?
Yeah. No, it was at 2.9%. It was Stripe.
Same thing. Yeah. I think.
Oh yeah. At the 2.9%. Yeah, I factored all that in there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Right, I got $9,700. I know I'm gonna be taxed on this. Because it's in my account. So I'm like, all right. So I added that. I factored that in there. I said, okay. So I need to run this up real quick. So I think within 3 weeks, I ran up like 15K. So I just paid it. I paid it all back, and then I kept what else was in there, and I kept running up from there. So I increased my limit with my credit card, as well as I got some free money in the stock market.
Leverage, man. So was this when you first started, or you already had studied? You knew what you were doing?
Man, when I first started, I lost $3,000.
Let's talk about it. Let's focus on that.
Look. So I had friends who were doing it, right? They were doing it, and they didn't know what they're doing. They were getting lucky. They were gambling, right? So I lost $3K like in like 2 weeks, and I'm still at my 9 to 5 at the time. I'm like, I can't. This is one of my paychecks. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I was just using one indicator. I really wasn't factoring news and things like that. So I lost $3K. I could have gave up. I was like, nah, I'm going to get back. I'm going to study, and I'm going to, because I love the stock market. I'm passionate about it. But so I'm like, all right, I'm going to get back. I'm going to study it. And then what happened was I ended up taking a course. I ended up taking a Knots Don't Fold course, right?
Okay, yeah.
I ended up taking Knots course. Shout out to Knots. And when I was taking this course, I didn't get it. So I reached out to him. He tried to help me execute. I still didn't get it. I was like, all right, this is not making no sense to me. But I know he was making money. I'm like, okay, what can I do? So I was I had a trucking partner at the time, and he knew somebody who was making $5K a day. He said, hey, I'm a partner with you, but I'm gonna link you with him. So I left after 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I got off work on a Sunday. I'll never forget. And I went over his house, and I was at his house till 2:00 in the morning. He's showing me all this stuff about the market, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. I run home. I tell my wife, not run home, but I get home. I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm telling her, I'm manifesting all this stuff. I'm about to quit my job. He just showed me all this stuff. He got some more stuff to show me next week. I'm about to go crazy in this market. And what's crazy is he ended up catching COVID. And I ended up catching COVID. Crazy how right? I ended up catching COVID. So what happened was he ended up passing away.
Oh, wow.
I never got to link with him again after that. I never got to meet him again. He ended up passing away. And that's why my community is called IROC.
Oh, I remember that in the interview. Yeah.
His name was Eric, and they called him IROC. So I named my community after him, IROC, because I continued his legacy. My goal was to teach 1,000 people how to option trade. So yeah, I mean that's how I started, man. And I end up making money. I was making money in it. And then my business partner, he was like, hey, come show me this. Like, you're making $150 a day. You need to come over here and show me this. I'll pay you. Like, I'm not really into showing nobody anything. But I showed him. He was like, all right, you showed me for free. Now you need to go teach this to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And then he was like, that's how you can leverage, instead of just making money in the stocks, you can leverage digital courses. You can leverage teaching people, holding master classes. It's
you
a
got a skill.
Yeah. People think like, hey, I need, 6 streams of income, but they don't understand you can leverage one to get those 6 streams.
Get those, you can 20, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Okay. Let's talk about the losses though. Like, what stocks were you trading? With entry, exit problems? Like, what was the problem? Let's help the people that just getting started.
So if you getting started, right? If you get started, first and foremost, like, yeah, you can get a course. You can definitely get a course. Like, that's cool. But you can read a book about how to play basketball. But if you don't got a coach, I mean, then you can hear about the shooting form, all that. You need a coach, right? So I lost, and then after he showed me all those the indicators he was using, his entries and his exits, I was like, all right, I got to do that. That's how I learned about the EMA MA crossover, right? I'm giving y'all some sauce on it because I ain't never said this.
Yeah. Give us all the sauce.
So I started using the EMA and the MA crossover. Yeah. And I was using it, every time it crossed, I would enter for, my calls or my puts. And I was smacking them. I'm like, okay, this is easy. 5%, 10%. And then I started adding other indicators and I started studying, reading the
word indicators. No, we're not gonna go over that. Word indicators.
I'm about to drop it down to you. I got you. So I started using the relative, he said, hey, I'm gonna get this. So look, the relative strength index, I started utilizing that. Yep, the RSI. I started using the RSI. I'm like, oh, this is very key. Then I started using the MACD.
Okay.
I'm giving you all the indicators, the pivots for the support and resistance. I learned levels. It's so many indicators out there to use to be successful in, right? So, and then I just came up with a strategy. And then as long as I stuck to that strategy and I started being consistent, I started seeing profit. So I started out, I was getting $100 days, right? I did a $100 30-day challenge, right? And I hit like 1,400. So I still was profitable for the most part. And then I was like, all right, I think I'm ready to move up to 200 days. I went to 200. I did 200 for 2 weeks, and I jumped to 500. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do 500 for a week, and I hit 500 for a week. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do $1,000 days now. And ever since then, I've been doing 1,000. That's been a minute from now. I've been doing $1,000 days in minimum. I have taken losses. My biggest loss was 13K. I took a 13K loss in one day. Crazy. Right? Tesla? I think it was Tesla. I think it was
sold bipolar. That's what scared me.
Yeah, I took a 13K loss in one day, and I backtracked, and I can tell you one thing about option trading. I mean, this is one thing about anything, but I don't really take losses. I take lessons because I realized what I did wrong. You have to understand what you do wrong so you don't make that again. Document all your trade. If you're trying to get in trades and you're paper trading, or document all your trades to see what worked and what didn't work. Because I look back now, I would never do that same mistake again. I held my loss hoping on faith that it would go back up, and it just kept going down. So, but right after that, I think 2 weeks later, I had my biggest dub, which was 10K. And then I hit 10K again right after that. So
congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. I made the money back, but the thing is about trading, don't look for the home runs, look for consistency.
Okay. I love that. I want to actually transition into, which you have already been talking about, the mindset when it comes to trading options. Right. So some people just think like, okay, trading options, but a lot of people sleep on the mindset, the fact that you could be trading emotional. Oh, this thing's going to go back up, things like that. Can we touch on the mindset?
Yeah, look, hey, that's something I go over with my students as well. So a lot of times is people think option trading is gambling. Like if you want to gamble, just go to the casino, right? Just go to the casino. Option trading, you have to really put the work in for those. It's like boxing, right? You train all those months for that one fight, right? But you can get knocked out in the first round. You have to really train yourself, chart, look into there. You have to understand, you have to be disciplined and understand how to cut your losses. Because if I go down in a trade, right? If I go down in a trade, let's say 15% of the trade. So if I have $1,000 contract and I go down to $150, I'm going to see, okay, is this going to go in my direction at any time coming soon? If not, I'm going to cut my loss. I'm not going to wish that it goes back up, because you can exit a trade and re-enter a smarter trade and make that money back plus more, right? So you can't sit right here, and you got to understand something. Emotional traders always lose. You have to be, a lot of people say I'm what's the word? Nonchalant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to shut off my emotions when I start trading. I cannot be like, oh, I missed that, or I have to understand, okay, this is why I lost. I entered at the wrong time. I entered too early. I document why I missed the trade. I can tell you right now on what's this? This is Saturday. So yesterday I traded. I hit 1,400 in 1 minute. Like 1 minute, right? So I'm like, oh, this is easy. I still got, that was a 50% trade. I'm like, oh, I got all the rest of this money to trade with. I thought I was on fire, right? Yeah. So I get into my next trade and I'm down 2,000. I'm like, hold on. But I knew the market was going down, but my entry was, it's going to keep going down, right? Which it did overall. And I recouped my money and I ended up profiting. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I sometimes, even the trading as long as I do, we do heat checks. Oh, I'm hot. I'm on fire right now. Let me recoup some more money. No, every trade you make needs to be strategic. Mm-hmm. Every move you make needs to be strategic. There, you cannot predict the market, so you got to kind of understand. A lot of people say put a tester in there, right? Get one contract. If it goes your way, then you can add 5, you add 10 more, right? Don't put the whole bag on one play and lose it because now you can't come back from it. Mm-hmm. Right. So your mindset in the market has to be, if you don't have a target when you first trade, you're gambling. I told you I hit 5 to 10% of my trades, and if 10% is going, if it's still going good, I may leave a runner in there. Meaning, I may have 10 contracts, but I may sell 9 of them and leave 1 contract in there just to keep it, just to see what I could have made off of it. Right. So you have to understand, for one, you have to have a target. 2, you cannot be emotional. You have to cut your losses. If you're down some, hey, cut your losses, try again later. As well as you have to understand this is risk. Do not gamble your mortgage or your car note. I gotta say it because it's crazy. Yeah. People's like, hey, I see you making $1,000 a day, and I'm like, hey, I started out with extra money. I was working overtime. Yeah. Get extra money. I didn't touch my 401k or something like that. Don't gamble something that you don't have, right? So I mean, that's it, man. That's mindset right there. If you don't have a target when you start trading, man, you're gambling.
Okay, so number 1, make sure you have a target. Target as far as like your 5 to 10%, or
you have a percentage, have a dollar amount you want to meet. Know what you're looking for before you enter that market. Know what you want to get at, right? Because if you don't, you gambling. Because just think, let's just say you cool with $100, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, what if it never goes to 100? What if it goes to 90 and then it goes all the way back down? Now you're under 90. You don't. Yeah. You gonna I was up $90. Like I should have just took the 90. No, because if it gets close to that 100, it looks like it's going the other way. It's at 70 now. Let me just take my 70 out of one. Green is green. I done had on Tuesday, I made $2,500 on Monday, and then on Tuesday I made $56. I don't care as long as it's green. As long as I went home.
Market gave you something. Yeah.
As long as I got. Usually I'm in the market for less than an hour anyway. So, I mean, it's not a lot of people getting paid $56 an hour. So who am I to complain?
That's what I'm saying. All right, y'all heard it. Definitely make sure you have your plan. Mindset is very, very important. So I want to talk about the $1,000 a day. So when we talk about $1,000 a day, I know some people might be thinking, okay, $1,000 a day. There's a difference between using $1,000 to make $1,000 because at 100% versus if you got 10 racks, you only got to do 10%. Can we talk about
exactly? Yeah, no, I got you. So look, here's the thing, right? I know I can hit 5% in the market today easily, like no problem. So if I wanted to put 20K in my account and do a 20K trade, I know I could walk away with $1,000, like superbly. But instead, to make me a more efficient trader, I have multiple accounts. So one of my accounts is I keep 10,000 or more in that account because I know if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I can hit 10% plus. So my 10% is $1,000 a day. So that's why I go off percentages, right? Because if I hit 15%, then it's 1,500 and so on and so on. And a lot of times people think trading bigger stocks gets you more money. That's not true. You don't have to trade Tesla. There's small stocks like SP 500, QQQ, Apple, things like that, where the contracts are cheaper and more affordable. But if they move, these things move $1, right? And you'll have, let me break it down. So if SPY moves $1, that's like Tesla moving $15. So that's you have to understand, playing smaller contracts and getting more of them can be more beneficial to you than you buying one contract of Tesla. Because So that's what we have to understand, and that's what we have to realize is the me having $10,000 in my account, knowing I can hit 10% a day. And even if you're not comfortable with hitting 10% a day, you can hit making $500 is cool. Remember, it's 253 trading days in a year.
Yeah.
So you can easily have a 6-figure year with making $500 a day. You know, it's not a competition out here. Run your own race. As long as you come out green, you cannot complain.
Got you.
Right.
Got you. So I know that people are going to hear the percentage. Okay, 5 to 10%. You know, we got some like serious note takers. How much should people start with? People like numbers. So like $5,000, $1,000.
$500. Here's the thing, right?
All right.
$500, right? And I'll break down why 500. Well, I use Thinkorswim. So I use TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim. Okay. I like to explain them like Walmart and Sam's Club. They're the same company, right? But so what I do is I utilize $500 because if you have as long as you have $500 in your real cash trading account, then you won't get delayed charts. Delayed charts are, I don't know if anybody's seen Wolf on Wall Street, but if you see when somebody used to sell a stock, they used to drop it down in the tube and send it down to confirm. And now everything is digital, right? So with it being digital, delayed charts, they'll say, hey, say a stock is at $400. If you have delayed charts, you may see your stock may be reporting 15 minutes inaccurately. It may report what it was 15 minutes ago. So if you make your call or your put and it's inaccurate, you'll be like, hey, why am I losing money? So that $500 mark gives you the accurate charts. And with $500, you got to think about it. $500, I told you can hit 5% a day, right? You hit 5% a day. Let me give you some real numbers.
All right.
I'm about to go crazy. I'm gonna give you a gym. You ready?
Let's get it. Yeah.
So if you start with let's say 1,000, right? I'm pretty sure everybody got $1,000. So you start $1,000, right? And you trade 5% of your account every day for 142 days. You'll have $1 million. For it's 253 trading, it's 142 days. It's $1 million challenge. Me and my coaches are actually doing. I can tell you right now. One of my coaches, I ain't gonna call him out because he don't like the platform, but one of my coaches is on pace to make $1 million, and I think he's only on his 80th day. Wow. So yeah, so it's 140 compound interest, 5% of your account from $1,000 a day. So from $1,000 a day, it's very obtainable. It just we have to have discipline. We got to understand when we have to cut our losses. But remember, that's compound interest. So you got $1,000. The next day it's $1,050. Then you trade that $1,050 and so on and so on and so on. But it's very possible. It's people. I know people out here making 30,000, six-figure days, and they're making it look easy, right? But they took the discipline to learn, and they're not gambling. They're understanding the market at no one can predict the market, but they're understanding the market at a better rate than others. And the market is my freedom, man. I mean, you know, I was able to quit my job from studying, right? Right. So, I mean, I recommend definitely to get into the market for sure.
Definitely. So how long did it take you to become profitable? You say you lost 3,000 before, but was it like months? Like how long? Everybody's journey is different, but
everybody's journey is different. Yeah. I talk to a lot of traders and I like to ask them, hey, when did you feel comfortable trading? And the main answer that I get is 6 months. Everybody tells me 6 months is when they was like, all right, I'm doing this consistently. I became profitable probably in about 4 months because I was going back and forth with my strategies, trying to learn stuff. But within 6 months, I knew I can leave my job and consistently do this and make because I was making a decent amount of money at the post office. I was making like $280 a day, no overtime, but I was making also $288 a day in under 10 minutes in the market.
Stock market. It's on your phone.
On my phone. So I was like, all right, do I want to deal with customers or would I rather make this money on my phone and have the rest of my day to myself?
Yeah.
So that's what made me really dive fully into the market. And I'm not telling everybody to quit their job. I know millionaires who have jobs and still trade and things like that. But you gotta understand that instead of going out looking for another job, look for a skill. Yeah.
That's definitely important during, the whole recession. And that's why I wanted to have you on the episode talking about stocks, options. So I'm definitely glad we're having this conversation because I think this episode is going to change, somebody's situation.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know that sometimes some people get confused as far as like a cash account versus margin account. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. I break it down. So a margin account, I want y'all to understand a margin account is basically like somebody front you money, right? So say you got $500. Hey, we're going to give you $500 more to play with. So now you got $1,000 to play with, right? But you got to understand the risk involved with a margin account, right? So if you get a margin account and you're playing with the house's money and you lose the house's money, guess what? You still have to pay the house's money back, right?
Yeah.
On top of a percentage.
Yeah.
On top of a percentage. So if you hit with the house's money, okay, you won, but you still have to pay them back with a percentage. Versus a cash account, all that money is yours. All of that money is yours. And I know, and I'm gonna give you another key because a lot of people may download Thinkorswim or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play with a cash account, you don't get flagged as a day trader. Right? A lot of times, a lot of my students, they'll be like, hey, I got flagged as a day trader user because they only want you to trade 3 times a week. If you're using a margin account, you have to have more than $25,000 in your account. And if you're using a cash account, it doesn't matter because guess what? You're playing with your money. Who cares if you day trade? They don't care how much you win or you lose as long as it's your money. You're not risking their money, right? So that's how I like to explain margin account. I like to kind of be, let people understand it from a different aspect because if you go look up the definition, you're like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
I like to break it down where people can kind of understand it.
So. Okay. Gotcha. Let's say day trading and swinging. Let's talk. Some people might not know what that is. Let's talk about
all right. That. So day trading, I'm a day trader. All right. I will swing some stuff, but I'll break that down too. So day trading, right, is basically you're seeing how the market's going. You know what's going on in the market. You can see the graphs, you can see the candles moving. You kind of know. Swinging is more or less of, hey, I'm holding this contract for a period of time. I'm holding this contract for a longer period of time to see how it goes. So a lot of people like to swing around earnings. And earnings is basically earnings is basically a company's revenue, right? So let's go for Amazon has earnings, right? So if Amazon sits right here and say, hey, we made a lot of damn money, guess what? People are going to pour their money into the stock. And if they pour their money into the stock is going to go up. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a call. So if I get the week before earnings and I think Amazon's revenue is great, I'm going to buy a contract early while it's cheaper, and hold that contract probably for 2 to 3 weeks out. So after earnings, when Amazon announces, because Amazon announced a lot of stocks only announce before the market or after the market. And I believe Amazon announces after the market. If Amazon announces, hey, we beat earnings, a lot of people are going to pour their money into the market. And therefore, my contract that I've been sitting on for that week is going to fly up and I'm going to make a lot of money from it.
Yeah.
So basically swinging is just holding a contract for a longer period of time. And day trading is, hey, I made my profit for the day off that contract. Let me sell it back to the market.
Okay, good. That's a perfect answer. So earnings, man, some people be becoming millionaires off of that. Some people be getting clapped. Would you recommend that?
So look, listen, lately with earnings, because I'm gonna be honest, I got hit on Microsoft and I was confused. I'm always learning in the market though. So I bought a contract on Microsoft and I'm like, oh, I'm about to make some money off this. They be earning, it skyrocketed up. I'm like, I'm about to eat on this. When the market opened up and I was down, I was like, why am I down? We got to understand there's so many, the Greeks, right? There's Delta, Theta, Vega.
Oh, let's talk about those. Yep. let's talk about holding and decay and everything. Finish your point.
Yeah. So I'm like, why am I losing on this contract? This doesn't make any sense, right? And the volatility of the contract basically cost me money because here's the thing, right? I got it so far out the money. I got the contract so far out the money because I thought I was gonna hit this price.
I'm sorry, we got to talk about in the money, out the money.
All right, my bad. So look, in the money basically is, I like to call it the safe bet, right? It's basically saying, hey, it already. So if it's at $100 and I'm saying, hey, it's going to go to $101. I'm simply saying I'm going to buy this contract at $100. And as long as it goes past this $100, I'm more profitable, right?
Yeah.
And then out the money is saying, hey, I'm betting it's going to go to this price. I like to make it like the casino, right? So say somebody come to you and say, hey, you got a 1 in 2 chance to win $50, but you got a 1 in 10 chance to win $1,000. Which person are you? You got to understand, are you a risk taker to try to win $1,000 in a 1 in 10 shot? Or are you the more conservative person that wants to play for the 1 in 2 chance to win the $50? I'm a conservative person, right? I like my odds with me. But the thing about your odds being with you, your contract is going to cost more.
Yeah.
I did with my mentees on Thursday. I showed them, I said, look, this out the money contract is only going to cost me $16, but this in the money contract cost me $160. And I said, the difference is the out the money, the chances are slim for it to go there. So it's so cheap. But if it gets to that point, you're going to make a lot of money because who knew it was going to go there. So when you're playing in the money and out the money, you got to understand what's the chances of it going there. Or if it goes in, if you're playing in the money, you're good. It's the safe bet. If it goes the opposite direction, you're still losing less money because you already paid the price to get the contract anyways.
Yeah, I like that casino example, by the way. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Appreciate it, bro.
I can tell your mentees are going crazy.
Oh, what? Look, yeah. I went live on Facebook. What was it last week on Thursday? I said I'm gonna just do live trading with y'all. I'm gonna give back to the community. I think they brought in somebody hit for 900 on the Tesla put out call. Somebody hit on, well, 2 people on 9. I like to kind of give back to the community, show it's possible. If you can wake up and make $900 in 5 minutes, I mean, you had a good day. I told them they owe me lunch though, because yeah. Look. I can give you the game, but definitely pay me back. I like food, gift cards possibly. But I mean, honestly, trading and knowing all this knowledge that I have, I just have to. It's confusing. You can look at YouTube videos and things like that, but you need someone. That goes back to me saying you can look at a course, but you need a coach to be transparent with you. I can hear. I see you giving a USC code game all day, right?
Yeah, but man.
If you break it down in layman's terms to somebody, like, look at it like this instead of this, then it's like, oh, now that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's how you correlate and give it off. I like to give it to people where they can understand it, man. And that's what it's about.
Dope. So let's talk about your program, actually. So is it like a mentorship? Is it a course? Like what's going on?
I like 6 streams of revenue on one thing. So I do have a course. I definitely have a course which gives access to my community for 30 days. That includes 2 days of live trading a week, in which we do, as well as you can chat with other coaches and things. We have Sunday coaching calls. But I also have a 4-week small class mentorship in which I teach you everything. I like to start with the basics, man. I teach you how to use the app the first week. Second week, I teach you how to understand trading view with the trading. The third week, we get more analytical with levels and things like that. And then the 4th week, we live trade together to get your investment back. So, yeah, right. So
you're basically paying them.
Yeah, basically paying them. Yeah.
So, why wouldn't you join?
Right. Hey, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've had in my mentorship, I've had probably over 30 people, and I've only got 2 people that didn't get their investment back.
That's a great percentage.
Yeah, like it's crazy. So, and the only reason why they didn't get their investment back because they wasn't ready to trade on the 4th week. So. It's kind of like giving back. I'm giving you a skill and you're getting rewarded before investing in yourself. And then I also have a one-on-one program, same 4-week program, but some people can't learn in class settings. So I offer the one-on-one, and it's actually affordable. I remember someone told me, this is back when I was charging $1,000 for the 4-week program. They were like, man, $1,000. Yeah, this is back then. It ain't that no more. It's $2K. It's $2K now, right?
You're doing 1,000 a day and you're only charging about that.
Listen, that's what I'm look. Bro. Man, this is expensive. I said, hey, you know what I just made before I hopped on this call? And he was like, what? I was like, well, I made $1,800 in 5 minutes and I'm charging you for 4. I said, break down the weeks. I said, break down the time consuming. I'm only charging you about $50 an hour. I said, if you add it up. And he was like, man, I just don't got it. I said, well, you just don't want to change your life. That don't got nothing to do with me. Because if someone told me, when I met my mentor and he was making $5K and he showed me in my face that I was ready to pay him $10,000.
Yeah.
You can't show me something and if you can do it, I know I can do it. How much are you going to charge me to show me what you're doing so I can do it? It shouldn't be. Ask yourself. I like to tell people, how much is it worth to change your life? If you want to continue, running a rat race and working overtime consistently, to where your body's giving out and you got to add request off if you want to fly out.
It's crazy.
That's up to you. And I'm not knocking nobody with a 9-to-5.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
I salute anybody that got a 9-to-5, but make sure that's your choice. Don't say I'm forced to do this or I have to do this, because I can tell you right now that I don't. Y'all got a 401k. A lot of people got 401ks, but if you knew how to invest your own money, you would be a millionaire by now. You'll make more money than that 401k is invested for you. Because I can tell you right now, that percentage that they're giving you back by the time you retire, they 10 times that. So my bad. I'm talking too spicy.
No, I mean, people got to know the truth. But I mean, my listeners, they know credit, all that. So it's like, even if, let's say you don't have the 1,000, 2,000 or whatever, get your credit card, go do some manufacturer spending, get in the program, 30 days, you're going to, you know what I'm saying, make your money back and stuff. So I'm not worried about my listeners. I'm pretty sure, they're going to tap in. But yeah. So you can say you got the one-on-one, you got the course. Yeah, there's Sunday calls, right?
Yep, I got a small class setting. I got a community, man. I got one of my coaches. I can't say his name, but if you get in community, you're gonna know who it is. One of my coaches right now is doing 10K a day. I'm talking about like easy, like the way I'm doing 1K, 2K. He's doing 10K a day easy. I was on the phone with him the other day, and he made a call on QQQ, and he was like, "Hey, just sit in about 20 minutes." So I'm like, "All right." Boom. I'm on the phone with him. I'm talking to him. He like, "All right, pull it out." I just opened my app and I'm up. He's like, "Yeah, I hit 1,700 real quick." That's what we want. It's possible. It's possible to do this. And I think some people are curious, or they're like, how are you doing this? You just gotta make the investment. Credit is key. I started all this from a credit card, bro. I started all of this came from I got a PNC $3,500 credit card. I went and bought a course. Jumped into the game, jumped into the trucking game, got the extra funds from the trucking game, jumped into stock options, credit, all that. And then I created all this from one investment. So it's possible. We just got to understand, you got to put yourself in alignment with people who are doing it and that already made the mistakes for you. So when you get in there, you don't got to make those same mistakes.
That's definitely the cheat code. I always tell them, solo episodes or interviews, always invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, always invest in yourself, get to the next level. You feel me? Fact. So I know obviously, with your community, people making money left and right. So I guess, I don't know if you hear similar things as far as like, the community is good and all that. So can we talk about the importance of community, being in that environment with like-minded individuals?
Yeah. So mostly everybody in my community, I either taught or they bought something from me, to where I just did a dollar trial to help somebody get their return on their investment back easy, a dollar, right? But here's the thing, right? Being in a community is, people have questions just like you. Like, you may not be able to contact me all the time. Yeah. Right. But if you got somebody in the community, or you drop a question in the community and say, "Hey, I'm having issues closing out a contract. Can you show me?" Someone may reply to you, "Hey, I was doing the same thing. This is what worked for me." Right. And you're around people that's going through the same thing. Like, I'm talking right now about in the money, out the money, Greece, like that. People may not know that. Right. So it may be confusing them, but they may comment in the community, "Hey, can you further explain that?" And 10 people will comment under there, "Hey, this is how I got it," or "Watch this video right here," or "Go back to this Zoom meeting that we had." So where he breaks it down and explains it, because I keep going further, and the further I go, I kind of get away from the basics. But it's someone who I taught that remember that they're still right there, and I can help the next person. It's all about pulling the next person up. That's why I started the community. The community is not even expensive. The community is only $50 a month. You can't, if you live trading with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 4 weeks and you don't make $50, something wrong. Yeah. I'm just being real, man. A lot of times is people like to think about the price of something, right? But they don't think about the impact of something, right? Hey, I don't have $50 extra a month. You may not have $50 extra a month, but guess what? If someone told me I could possibly make, $200-300, I'm going to figure it out how to make this amount of money to stay in this community in order for me to be successful. Rather, I got people that I got someone that works in HR that start coming in late to live trade with us on her day. She said, "Hey, I'm gonna come in late so I can live trade with y'all, just so I can make this money, because I work and I like my job," and that's cool. But she understands that it's ways to make passive income outside of there.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that's definitely key. Yeah, it's not to be like, "Oh, you shouldn't do a 9 to 5 or whatever." That's a perfect example right there. And we're in a recession, so it's like you gotta have those multiple streams of income, and that one stream of income can sprout into multiple. Yeah. So you're doing the teaching, you're doing the trading. Obviously, you got a monthly community as well, so that's dope. I wanted to go back to the Greeks. Can we talk about the Greeks? The impact of holding too long, stuff like that.
Man, so okay, so everybody has their own way to break down the Greeks, but the way I like to explain the Greeks, right? So it's the delta. The delta I like this, and it's crazy because I never got on the podcast and gave this much game.
Hey,
But and look, hey, you got to ask what I can deliver.
I appreciate you. We appreciate
love, bro, love.
Yeah.
So the delta, right? I like to explain the delta, far as the price you can get per dollar movement, right? So my delta is 0.50, right? That means they're giving me 50 cents per share. How many shares was in a contract? 100. So you want to times that 50 by 100, or I'll make it simpler for people that really that good in math. I like to move my decimal to the right twice, right? So that's $50 per dollar if this stock moves. So if this stock is at $400 and it moves to $401, guess what? I just made $50, right? That's now my contract is worth $50 more than that it is now. Mm-hmm. So the theta, I like to call it the cousin of the delta. The theta is time decay. Mm. All right. This means the longer you hold this contract, it's going to count against you. And so the theta has the theta has a number too. So if the theta is negative 0.40, guess what? You're going to lose 40 cents per contract. And that's going to be $40 the longer you hold this contract, right? Especially on the same day contract, but we'll get into that later. All right. So when I explain theta, I explain to my students it's like fruit, right? So Monday you buy bananas green, Tuesday it's yellow, Wednesday has brown spots, Thursday is brown, Friday it's expired. Would you buy expired fruit from the store?
Just do all the examples. That's a good. Yeah, I like
it. So why would you risk buying expired fruit from the store unless you about to eat it that day? So you have to be. If you buy a same day contract, you have to know something. You gotta know, hey, this is going in this direction. Sorry, because you fighting time against you, time and time again, right? And you don't want that, right? You don't want that. So in order to make the safe bet, I'm gonna go ahead and get that contract a week out, right? Another Greek, I mainly focus on the delta and the theta, but another Greek is also the vega, right? You have the vega, and this is the premium that you get, or is it the roar? Sorry, it might be the roar. The premium that you get if the contract goes past your price. So if you bet hey, out the money, if the contract is at 100, if your strike price is $100, right? I'm getting the contract at $100, and you say, and the stock price is currently at 99. If it goes to 100 and it passes it, guess what? They give you something called a premium. So your delta that was once $50 is now $55 because it's the risk. You're getting rewarded for a passing where you said it was going to go. And you're more profitable out the money if it hits your number and it goes past it, because guess what? You got that contract for cheaper. Mm-hmm. Too much game.
It's a lot of game, man. It's too much sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can we talk about maybe certain stocks that you like? We talked about Tesla is very, very, very volatile. Maybe some stocks beginners should play with.
QQQ. That's a tech stock, so you got to think about it. Go look what what's in QQQs. I like to explain ETFs and things like that, like a variety bag of chips, right? Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm saying, you got this variety bag of chips, but it has Lay's, Ruffles, Doritos, and all these ETFs like SPY and QQQ. They have Amazon, Facebook, Apple. QQQ is a tech company. Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, things like that. So if you look at these companies. If all these companies are going down, guess what QQQ is going to do? It's going to go down too, because all of these companies, look at the percentage that's owned in that company. So if Amazon is the highest percentage in that company and Amazon's going down, it may drag that stock down, right? So you got to kind of align what stocks that you're playing with those things. But QQQ, SPY, which is SP500, Apple is a good one to start with. Affordable contracts, BA. It's a whole bunch of things. I like to play, and I used to play the big ones. Amazon, I play with the big boys because I knew Amazon was going to move $50. Amazon was going to move $50 up or down every day. So I'm like, all I got to do is catch it on the right direction. Yeah. Then they just recently did this split. And when they did their split, I told everybody, I went live and I told everybody, I said, listen, everybody's so happy that Amazon split today. Wait until it pulls back. Amazon closed out on the first day of its split at $124. The highest it went was $128. And I'm telling you, I'm like the stock LeBron. Like I can tell you the stats or something. So it went all the way up to $128, closed out at like $124.30. And then I was telling people, listen, Amazon is going to drop down. Like don't buy yet. It's a good buy, but I wouldn't buy yet. Save you a couple of dollars if you're long-term investing. Amazon right now is at $110. It's at 110, and it's only gonna go down. It's
Yeah.
only gonna continue going down. But at earnings, Amazon will fly and pull the market with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look, check out when Amazon earnings is, it's gonna pull the market with it. Trust me. I believe Jeff Bezos is a genius, man. Jeff Bezos is a genius. Just like they said, Tesla, Elon Musk stuff went down. Tesla just announced they're doing a 3-1 split. They announced
a split. What does that split mean?
Oh, okay. So a split basically means, so look, I'm giving all the keys.
All the sauce.
So look, let's break it down like this, right? I'm gonna break it down for my company, right? I own iRock community, right? I'm tired of pouring my money in the iRock community. Or listen, iRock is worth so much that people can't really invest their money in, right? So we're gonna make it affordable. We're gonna make it affordable for more people can buy more stocks, because Amazon was at $3,000. It took a split, it went down to $123. You can buy 10 Amazons now, right? You know what I'm saying? You can buy 10 Amazons. So more people are going to pour their money in there, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't understand. I'm gonna tell you the coldest thing. I'm gonna tell you why Elon Musk is the coldest person on the earth, right?
All right.
Elon Musk called a put on his company. He said his stock was gonna go down, and guess what he did? He sold 3 billion shares. And so 6 billion, I'm sorry. He sold 6 billion shares. It went down. So he made money on the way down. And then with that 6 billion that he sold, he rebought $6 billion more worth of shares of his company. So he can get a higher percentage of ownership in his company. So he made money both ways. That's how the rich get richer, man. That's how the rich get richer. He knew it was gonna go down. That's like inside trading. He should be in jail for that. But
he should. I think I heard about that actually.
It's crazy what they can get away with. Money is power. Yeah. It's crazy what you can get away with it. But a split basically means, hey, more people get to pour their money into it. And a lot of y'all not moving like the billionaires and knowing, hey, we're gonna run this up, and then we're gonna take all our profits from everybody pouring their money in there. And then guess what? When it gets real low, we're gonna buy back in again. Mm-hmm. That's all that happens, man. It's a recurring cycle of the market. Every recession has the same patterns. Mm-hmm. Got to study history. Warren Buffett said it. Warren Buffett said, "I still read the 1967 newspaper because the blueprint to making money hasn't changed."
Yeah.
My bad, man. You got me in my bag today.
Hey, man, that's what you're here for. So you said QQQ. Can we talk about QQQ and SPY? How they mirror a little bit?
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you all a play that Knox put me on to the VIX. Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you about the VIX too. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Man, so listen, the VIX does the complete opposite of what the SP 500 does. So if the VIX is going up, SP 500 is going down. It's guaranteed. It's like actually, I trade on 3 screens, and I put the VIX on 1 screen purposely so I can see how the market should be moving. Mm-hmm. So the SP 500 and QQQ plays the same role, kind of. If QQQ is going up, usually SPY is going up because they share a lot of the same things. Like I know Amazon is in there. I know Amazon is in their same platform. I know Apple's in the same platform. Tesla got kicked out. But Tesla was in there one time. So they mirror the same company. So usually most of the time, if one's going up, the other's going up. And then if SPY and QQQ is going up, that means the VIX is going down. That's kind of how you can use confirmation on when to enter and exit a trade. If they're all aligning like that, it should be easy money. And as long as if you're scalping means entering and exiting quickly to get your 5%, you should be a successful trader. There shouldn't be. When I take my lessons, I don't even like saying losses. When I take my lessons in the market, it's because I didn't check everything out. They say you have to have 5 confluences in order to make an accurate trade, right? So if my 5 confluences aren't aligning up, that's usually where I took my lesson. But most of the time, when my 5 confluences align up, I usually take my win in a short period of time.
Do you ever deal with like greed or anything? Or have you mastered that at this point?
Yeah, I definitely
master it. Do you think people ever master that?
Yeah, no. I've learned. Look, I've took a lot of courses or asked a lot of people. It's this guy. His name's Kev Trades, right? Mm-hmm. And when me and my business partner got into his stuff, he introduced us to something called trimming, right? And trimming basically means the same thing I explained earlier. I may have 10 contracts or something, and they going stupid. but now I made my profit. So let me trim 5 of them contracts. Oh, it's still going stupid. Okay, let me trim 3 more. Now I got 2.
You're scaling down.
Yeah, now I got 2 because here's the thing, right? I'm taking my profit now just in case these other 5 end up going left. I'm not gonna allow them to take all my profit. The worst thing that can happen is I can break even. Mm-hmm. I like to treat the stock market like a casino. If I break even, I play blackjack, so a push is a win. A push is a win to me. If I break even, hey, there's no complaints. The only thing that was wasted was my time. But sometimes I've been seeing 100% trades. I didn't see 100% trades where leaving a runner. I had a 100% trade. It was a 70% trade. I was in Cleveland. I left a runner in, and it came time to almost the market was about to close, and I reopened it back up. And I'm like, oh, I'm up $1,200, and my contract was 16. So I'm like, oh, this is lovely. So definitely learn how to lead trim in there, as well as trail stopping.
What is that?
So trail stopping basically means, so you're willing to lose a percentage of the contract, right? So say the contract is $1,000. I'll say, hey, I'm gonna put a trail stop in here, meaning if this goes under 30%, if this contract drops 30%, if I lose $300, you're gonna automatically sell. I don't even want to look at you. If you got a 9 to 5,
like a stop loss.
Yeah, it's like a stop loss.
Got it. Okay.
If you got a 9 to 5, I recommend trail stops all the time because you can be like, all right, I'm willing to lose $300 if this goes less, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but where it gets dope at, say your contract is no longer worth $1,000, it's worth $1,500, right? Well, it's not going to be 30% of the $1,500. It's going to move up some. So now you if you lose, you'll end up losing in profit. I hopped on a 4-hour flight to Jamaica. Was it Jamaica? It was Jamaica. And I put it in the trail stop on Amazon and ended up touching down and was up. You know what I'm saying? It was up. It sold. I only was $20 profitable, but guess what? I was still in profit because sometimes you're not able to watch your trade. So you need to kind of, like you said, put a stop loss in. I prefer trail stops because it allows me to stay in there longer and possibly leave out profitable without the data.
That's some sauce. I hope people are taking notes. All right. So you mentioned scalping. Can we talk about time frames? Some people might look at the charts. 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour. Like, can we talk?
If you're a scalper, definitely the 5 minutes to the 1 minute. The RSI is the strongest on the 5 minute and the 30 minute. But if you're looking at the 5 minute, and you're the 5 minute kind of gives you, like, after 9:45, you shouldn't be looking at the minute chart, in my opinion, right? You should be looking at the 5 minute and the 15 minute. But if you're looking at the 5 minute, because the minute chart has a lot of noise in there. You may get scared and pull out over, but the 5 minute
people out,
you may get scared like, oh, this is going down. It could be a pump fake. But if you're looking at the 5 minute chart, and it's going your direction, the best entry is to wait until the next candle forms, and when the next candle forms, see if that's a good entry. So let's say the market was going down, if my candle forms at the peak of my previous candle, but my indicators are still notifying me that the market's going down, that's a good entry because it's like, all right, it's definitely going to go down from here. So I can easily make my 5 to 10% on that following candle because my indicators are telling me that it's going to go down. So that's that. So scalping, you can look for them if you in the market before 9:45. Definitely, you can look on a minute and a 5 minute. But anything after 9:45, just utilize the 5 minute. My opinion. I'm not a final.
Got you. So the beginning of the market is like the most noise you'll get. Is that safe to say?
So many pump fakes in the beginning of the market, bro. Okay. I'm talking about like, a lot of people. Like Moderna the other day. Moderna was skyrocketing because. They announced that the government approved another phase for another shot, whatever, right? Skyrocketed, shut up. I mean, I was in it, I was getting paid off of it. Yeah. But like 30 minutes later, they announced that they lifted the mask ban on the airport. So they just contradicted themselves. So now Moderna's flying down.
Oh man.
So it's like. And that's another important thing. Know what's going on in the news.
I was about to bring that up. We went on the same wavelength,
Know what's going on in the news. Look, I use CNBC app. Okay. I get alerts all the time. Yeah, I'm talking about. I didn't got in the trade before, and they said Joe Biden's about to talk, and I forgot to even check to see if the Feds was talking today, and I hurried up exited because we all know when the Fed's talking, the market can go one way or the other. Hard. So I'm like, let me hurry up and get up out of here, and I got out. You don't really never want to talk. You don't ever really want to trade while the Fed's talking. They can say anything. Joe Biden can sit right here and say, "Hey, our inflation is crazy. It's officially a recession. The market will plummet." Or Joe Biden can say, "Hey, I'm cutting gas prices in half, and the market will skyrocket." You don't want to trade during that time. You want to. I recommend you to watch what's going on, because if they say a certain key point and you're watching the market, because the billionaires already know it's about to be said.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch a huge order get loaded on the call or the put side, you know what to do. I tell people that too. Value in the market, right? Volume is a huge thing. You want to make sure if the volume is pumping in there and it's going to the upside or the downside, that might be which direction you want to go. It's like an early indicator or warning for you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So when the Fed's talking, if you can be out of a position, just be watching until the coast is clear.
Just watch. I'm telling you.
But if you're in a position already, would you recommend they hop out?
I will get out.
You'll get out? Okay.
It can go either way. It can go either way. You can literally be in that trade, and a lot of times what happens is right before, like an hour before the Fed's talk, is people start selling their stuff, so the market starts to go down because they don't know what they're going to say. But I've been in a trade, and I'm talking from experience. I've been in a trade while the Feds were talking and lost. Like, I'm like, oh, they're talking. I'm about to call a put. It's going down, and Joe Biden sits here and says, Tesla, once again, Tesla took me on top a few times. I don't know why I used to trade that, but Joe Biden gets on there and says, "Hey, we're endorsing all energy vehicles." I'm talking about, soon as he said that, I'm talking about, I'm down instantly. I'm trying to sell. I'm trying to hurry up and sell. I'm down instantly. I had to sell market. It's a difference between market and limit.
Oh, let's talk about market and limit. We got to cover it.
So look. So I'm basically giving the 4-week program on the podcast.
Damn near on the podcast.
Right. So market means I can sell my contract instantly, whatever the stock price is at. Right, I can sell this instantly. So if the stock price is at $400 and it jumps up to $405, my contract's going to instantly sell whatever the market price is available. Limit means at that price. So if I say I'm selling this at $400 and this moves to $400.01, they're not going to let my contract go through until it gets back to the $400. So that's another way people have lost money before too, is they'll try to sell a contract and it won't sell because the stock price that moved. Sometimes you have to change as a market. And in my first week of trading, when people learn the app, I'm like, hey, look, you're not about to be blowing me up saying my contract's not going through. Just go ahead and sell market, right? So
just jump out.
Yeah, just jump in and jump out. Like just make it more easy. And sometimes they say, well, I was up $200, but I only walked away with 50 because that stock price changed that quick. You got to understand the stocks change instantly, right? So you got to be you're like you said in the beginning about your entries and exits. You have to be on point with your entries and exits. I didn't sold some market and I was up $1,500. I sold it out and went up $3,500. It moved that Tesla again, moved that quick. Moved that quick. So you got to really understand all these things chime into stock option trading. But when you go through my 4-week program, and you're gonna know all that.
Yeah, I made sure you gave them, an hour of work. I think we definitely gave a good intro as far as what people need moving forward. I guess one question before we get into the final round of questions. What's one practical thing you think somebody should do as a result of hearing the interview? Because I like action takers, you feel me? So what's one thing they should do?
Just DM me and tell me if you want to move forward, learning stock trading. And I'm willing to even offer discounts and trials to the community just for people that's to your audience.
Okay.
If you right here, they reach out to me in the DM and they follow you, it's up.
Okay. Y'all got the sauce. Y'all know what time it is. I think you're crazy if you don't tap in. But so one question. We're gonna get into the final round of questions. It's just 4 quick questions.
Not a problem.
Number 1, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Are you still gonna be doing stock options and all that? Like what's going on with you?
Yeah, this is my passion. I might not teach stock options anymore, but I'm definitely going to teach how to invest in the stock market. I plan on starting a financial literacy class for my public schooling where I'm at. I want to get back and have the youth understand that, you don't always have to go to college. You can take another route and learn a skill that you can make more than that doctor that you wanted to be.
Definitely. Okay. Dope. You have a son too, right?
I got 2 boys. Yeah.
Dope. Are they training?
Another one on the way.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. Are they trading or no? Not yet?
No, so my oldest son understands the difference between a call and a put. So I'm definitely about to get him locked in, but I'm scared because he's one of them guys where he might become better than me.
Hey, that's what it's all about.
I don't want him 16. Like, I don't gotta work. I know how to, you know.
I feel that.
Right.
Making 200 racks a day in the market. You talking about
like, you see what I just did? You told me to go to work. I'm gonna be upset.
Right. Okay. So what do you do for fun when you're not going crazy with options?
Man, I travel. I love to travel. Okay. I'm always taking a trip, man, and networking, man. I love to travel. You know, I just like to get out and go because I have the freedom. I work from my laptop. You know, Monday through Friday. If the market open, that's my job.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I love to do is just travel.
No. What's your favorite place you've been to?
Gotta be the Dominican Republic. I love the Dominican Republic. Yep. I just got back from Jamaica. I love Jamaica too. I love seeing the cultures, man. You know, you got to understand there's different cultures out there. And I like being in the trenches, man. I like going to the trenches to see, you know, how they move or whatever, because you can change our type of money that we make here in America. You can go over there and that's a lot to them, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I like to just impact the people that's in the trenches and show them that and you could trade over there. I hopefully one day I can, you know, start a school over there to teach them how to trade and possibly get them out.
Definitely. When you hit in Nigeria, you got to touch on my people.
Oh, look, I don't think my bag there yet. But I'm gonna definitely get over there, no, for sure. I would love, if you ever slide out there, man, just send me the invite. I'm on the plane.
Most definitely. All right, the third question. So what would you say is your favorite resource when it comes to options? You can give a couple if it's not one.
Resource, go down into it. What do you mean exactly?
Okay, so resource could be news. It could be something like Trading View, something that's just like
CNBC.
Okay, news. CNBC.
Okay. They got all the news. Elon, they'll tell you if Elon Musk sneezed. Like, that's definitely my favorite resource to go to, man, because I kind of get an understanding of you know, what's going on. They announced, hey, we just gave $40 billion to Ukraine to fight the war, you know, things like that impacts the market. So definitely I recommend to download that for sure.
Definitely. Oh, you down like the App Store? You download?
Yeah, I got the app. I was getting notifications while we was on this
okay. All right. Tapped in. I feel that. Cool. All right. Last question, maybe the most important question out of the four. If you could change one thing about the Black community, what would it be and why?
I want people to understand that everything is possible and everything is obtainable. If someone's doing something, we're not in competition with each other. It's collaboration over competition. If someone's doing something, I give free game all the time. I give out free ebooks, host free webinars, go out and give you the game. I want you to win. I can't help someone that won't help themselves. And a lot of our people don't want to help themselves. You know, they want to get rich overnight, quick scream, and we can't do that. We got to invest in our people and bring our people up. So if you walk through my program, you know, I'm definitely going to make sure you're put up. I tell people they can text me even when the class is not going on so I can make sure that you understand it. So in the Black community, we have to pull each other up. If someone's in position, we put them on a higher platform in order for us to pull you up. Because it's not about crabs in a bucket. It's the monkeys in the barrel. We lifting each other up.
Love that. Dope. All right, you gave us all the sauce. I appreciate you.
Real.
I gave the whole course. Now, before we end it, is there a question that people do not ask you that you would want to be asked right now? I just want to give you that opportunity.
That's a lot. Yeah. How much time do I put into the stock market? People don't ask that. How much time do I put? This is relentless. This is listen. I told you I'm looking at CNBC News right now. I'm taking I still take courses. You know, I'm taking Ian Dunlap's course right now, the Master Investor. I still take courses because I want to be able for my community not to have to go nowhere else. And because I'm bringing the information to you, I don't want you to go spend $10,000, $30,000. I'm gonna bring the information to you for $50 a month just because you rock with me, right? So understand that it's not I don't just show up to the game. I put work in. So when I say time is invested into this, and the same, you need to do the same work I'm doing. If we go into practice, you need to come to practice with me.
So it's like a sport.
It's a sport.
They just seen the NBA Finals game. They're not looking at the practice that went behind the scenes.
They're not looking. They're not looking at Curry drop 43 the other night. They're not looking
crazy.
They're not looking up how many jumpers Curry put up after that game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In practice. So that's how we got to do it. You got to not only have a passion for it, but you got to be consistent.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. So definitely, if you're listening, know that you cannot be lazy with this. If you're gonna be successful, making $1,000 a day, you could start out making $100 a day. But appreciate you so much, bro, for dropping out all the sauce. I appreciate you. I know people gonna get so much value from the episode.
Yeah.
Can you tell us where they can find you, where they can get in touch with you for the program?
Listen, my name is Stock Trader T, STOCKTRADERTEE. I get a fake page made of me every day.
Oh man. You gotta get that blue check. They gotta give you that blue check.
They gotta give it to me. Listen, I get a fake page made of me every day. I will not DM you asking you for any type of money or how's your trading going. All right. So if you got any questions, you can DM me, follow me, let me know where you found me at, and I'll definitely tap in with you. I promise you.
Definitely. So Instagram is that your main thing?
Instagram Stock Trader T. I got Facebook too. You can find me under Terry. Actually, no, my name is T Arter on there. TEEARTER, and that's it. That's the only platforms I utilize right now.
Okay, IG is easiest though, right?
Yeah. Please Instagram. Turn my Instagram up so I can get that blue check.
Okay. Appreciate you. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all tap into the mentorship, the programs, everything. This is free money, basically.
Yeah.
That being said, man, y'all have a blessed one.
Hey, for sure. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.